Hello students, this is lesson U6A07b. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to say I can write equations, graph, and solve problems involving circles on a coordinate grid. Let's take a look. So this equation of a circle was introduced in the previous video. Here it is once again. This is just the Pythagorean theorem or the distance formula at work here, which will describe all the points on a circle. So suppose now I have the situation where the endpoints of a circle are given by, or the endpoints of the diameter, I should say, not circle, because who's to say where's the endpoint begin and where does it end, right? So this is actually on the very edges of the circle, okay? So that's the diameter. Those are the endpoints of the diameter. Is 1, 2, and 5, 8. What we need to do is find the center of the circle, find the radius of the circle, and write the equation of the circle. Pause the video to see if you can figure this out. So to find the center of the circle has to be in between the endpoints of the diameter. So to do this, all we got to do is just find the midpoint between the two endpoints of the diameter. So last I recall, the midpoint formula was x1 plus x2 divided by 2. It's the average. Y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And all we got to do is just take the x coordinates, add them together, divide by 2. So I have 1 plus 5 divided by 2. And the y coordinates, 2 plus 8 divided by 2. So this is 3, 5. That's the center. Next, we got to find the radius of the circle. And there are a couple of ways of doing this. You can certainly find the distance between the midpoint and the endpoints of the circle, or endpoints of the diameter, or you can just work directly from this and then divide by 2. Either case, okay, is going to lead you to the same results. I'm gonna go with A, B, okay, the endpoints of the diameter. So I recognize if for the length of AB, right? Delta x, the change in x is going to be 4, plus the change in y is going to be 6. So therefore, this is going to be 16 plus 36, so that's square root of 52. And what exactly is the square root of 52? Square root of 52 can be reduced to square root of 4 times 13. Or 2 square root of 13. So AB is 2 square root of 13, so the radius, therefore, has to be half of that. So half of 2 square root of 13 is simply square root of 13. So I found my radius, I found the center. We can finally write the equation of the circle. So recall the equation of the circle is x minus h, quantity squared, plus y minus k, quantity squared, equal to r squared. I can directly substitute in what the values of h and k are. So x minus 3, quantity squared, plus y minus 5, quantity squared, will equal to square root of 13 squared, or simply just 13. So this is the equation of the circle. Okay, so next question here, I have x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 4y minus 9 is equal to 0. And what we need to do is the equation of a circle is given. It doesn't really look like the equation of a circle. And what we want to do is we want to find the center and radius from here. So in order for you to accomplish this, okay, we need to rewrite this equation into an equation that looks like this. So in other words, we'll have to complete the square here. So that was a technique that was introduced in part 1 of this lesson. So let's see if we can properly utilize that. So let's take a look. What we're going to do, okay, I'm going to separate out all the variables, okay, which they kind of are already. I have x squared plus 2x, and I need to complete the square, so I'm going to leave myself a little space. And then the second part here, I have y squared minus 4y, and again, I'm going to leave myself with a little bit of space. And then this negative 9, I'm going to add to the other side. I'm going to bring it to the other side, so I'm going to have 9 on the other side there. What I want to do with this, okay, is I want to complete the square now. And the technique that was shown in part 1 of this video, or of this lesson, was we generally just take that middle coefficient, half it, and square it. So what is that? So if we take 2, half it, and square it, we end up with 1. I take this number, half it, and square it. What do I end up with? I have 4. So we've completed the square. However, okay, I've broken the cardinal rule of algebra. Can you spot what it is? Anytime you add anything on one side of the equation, you must always add it to the other side. So here, I must add 1 and 4. So looking at this, this is really going to be 14. And then on the left-hand side, this is a perfect square, and this is a perfect square. What is this? This is x plus 1 quantity squared. And the second half is y minus 2 quantity squared. So to answer the question, find the center and radius of the circle. The center is located at negative 1, 2. And the radius is equal to square root of 14.